Low cartwheel preparation and control. Start in your squat position and pivot out to one side. You're then going to place your hand quite close down next to your foot. Once you've done this a few times, you're going to follow up with the other arm. Start to throw both of your arms overhead as you prepare for the cartwheel. This will guide the trajectory. Once you've gotten used to this, you are going to lift the free leg up off the floor and just hold that position. This is a key position as it's going to be the one just before your takeoff. Getting used to this position is going to be very important. Once you've gotten used to it, you're going to jump up into your cartwheel, and as you land, you should be in the exact same starting position, but on the other side. You're then going to work the entry preparation on the other side. So start by throwing the hands overhead, lifting that base leg, jump around into your cartwheel, and once you land, if you can, start trying to freeze in that landing position. This part of the control is going to be very important. If you can freeze in that landing position, you're going to give yourself all of the time to smoothly transition into your next movements. An important note is to remember to keep the legs bent at the top of the cartwheel. We do not want to have them straight because they become harder to control and require more momentum when they're straight. So at the top of the cartwheel, make sure that the legs stay bent and they only straighten to anticipate the landing just before your foot hits the floor. Next, we're going to go through the technique for exiting smoothly out of the cartwheel once you've landed. As you can see here, once you land, keep the hands on the floor as you pivot down into the squat. Do not be hasty to remove your hands off the floor once that foot has landed. Just make sure that you keep all 3 points of support on the floor here and that you sink down, pivot, and use your hands to pivot you into that squat. Another key factor to consider during this entry is the distance between your hands and your feet. Try your best to keep them relatively close. This will mean that your center of mass is going to be close to the points of contact at all times. This means that you can exit and enter without having to readjust your hands at all. Of course, your ability to keep your points of contact relatively close during this shape will depend on your current level of active flexibility and general mobility. So if this is a factor, you'll need to address it. In the meantime, you'll have to get used to your individual hand and foot distance that will allow you to exit your cartwheel with minimal or no hand readjustments. The most common ranges that are responsible for making this movement nice and control are going to be forward fold, straddle pancake, and your flat foot squat. You're also going to want a decent amount of shoulder strength to stop your shoulders collapsing as you jump yourself around, and you will need a little bit of leg power in order to jump your hips up at the beginning of the cartwheel. So remember to use that base leg to jump your hips up and over the hands to go into the cartwheel, and you can also help by using that free leg to drive that momentum upwards as well. Any questions, get in touch, details are at the end of the video.